Monday morning now, and we're getting ready to go on the Arch tour in a couple hours. We're getting ready to check out of the hotel and head sort of in that way and do some stuff. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of rain out there. It is what it is. Yeah, so this is the view. It reminds me of Las Vegas, and not just because straight in front of us, that's the Horseshoe Casino and I guess Seasons or Four Seasons Hotel there. You know, very city scene out there, and you know, you really are reminded when you're along the Ohio River and other, you know, Kanawha River and other rivers in the country, just exactly how many bridges, Delaware River, how many bridges we have, how much infrastructure we have that gets us across the water. It's a lot. There's another big bridge over here too, off in the distance, and here you can see the high power lines coming into town. I guess we walked past the convention center last night, and this is some other big venue building as well, the Dome America Center. I'm not huge into sports, so I'm not always aware of what teams play at what stadiums, but probably sporting of some sort in there, I would guess. We got free charging at the hotel. I forgot to make a video in the, you know, parking area last night because, well, I was worried about security, and we were trying to get the truck parked just right and only make one trip and load up all of our stuff, and I was just really focused. But I did get a few pictures, which I will have put at the end of Sunday's video, with just a comment that free hotel charging. It worked out well for us. Don was back and forth to Case a couple of times to check for things, but nothing was going on. There's a lot of security in that parking garage, so it was really no worries.
You can see the rain bouncing.
Yeah, we're not telling Sam that it's raining. It's actually not good for us that it's raining.
That's right.
This is one of the only times before we get to Colorado that we needed the weather to be good.
Yeah, really.
And not only is it raining, but there's lightning.
And it's like really raining.
Like really raining.
It's not sprinkling. And it's 0.6 of a mile to the place. So,
but you know, we're still gonna, since we were there last night when he lets us out, we've ordered an Uber. We're waiting on Uber.
Yeah.
We're still gonna have to hightail it into the visitor center.
That's right. We're still gonna get plenty wet.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
Don's girl didn't pack an umbrella.
Oh, it's not your fault. I don't really think about it.
Well, we don't, let me rephrase it. We don't have an umbrella in Case yet. There's 4 or 5 in Ruby.
Yeah, easily.
Easily. All those pretty girl umbrellas. I don't know exactly how we ended up with, the kids had extras or something when they were going to school. Ruby has extra, but we don't have one with us, so oh well. Don did order electric. It was a few minutes more, but we have the minutes, so we got to walk down here on the end.
Well, I'm doing, he wants us, I guess, on that side.
Well, good luck with that, because that's out in the rain. I ain't standing in the rain. That's why we're taking the Uber. It's a Bolt.
Right,
Black Bolt, and it wants us over there about where the stair steps are to wait on him. We're not liking that idea right now. We're here at the Arch. The Uber driver did good. Don messaged him to please come under the canopy, and he did. He says it's not only is it 18,000 rides on Uber, but he's got about 18,000 on Lyft. And he was in the Hertz, we give you a car program, and now he's in the Avis. He had a Model 3 with Hertz that he really liked.
Yeah.
And his choice was Mach-E or the Bolt with Avis, and he chose the Bolt.
You did good, because I think the Bolt is very easy to get in and out of for your customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know that the Mach-E is or isn't, but...
Well, it just looks lower.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here and out of the rain now. We didn't really get too wet. And just to say, even when we're home and it rains, I don't use an umbrella, so it's here. Information here. Security entrance to everything over here. The Capitol building in the background behind you, which we got a picture of last night. We've now got tickets to the 10 o'clock movie which will be finished in time for us to get on the 1050 tram. And, you know, like I said, everything is through here. Don's taking a picture of the map. Actually, when I was coming down, didn't realize you could walk on it. As we said last night, this whole thing is bigger than you think. It kind of reminds me a little bit of going into the U.S. Capitol through their security screening, queuing up for the Capitol tour. The Capitol tour is great. If you go to D.C., you should definitely do the Capitol tour. There's the projection for the big screen here. Up at the top, you can see the movie. Child that I live with for a husband said I got down to the bottom and missed him walking across North Carolina. So let's walk across North Carolina now. I hauled myself back up those stairs for him. Well, that's Cape Hatteras sticking out there.
Now this is how long it took me to get to St. Louis. This is how long it took. And I only had to cross the Ohio River once.
Not a whole bunch of times. Okay, do that one more time for me. Go to Cape Hatteras and walk to St. Louis. It took us slightly longer in the truck. All right, I'm ready. I want you to walk to St. Louis, yes.
How long it took me to walk to St. Louis. I made it to St. Louis.
Way cool. Guess they don't care about the Cape Fear River because it doesn't intersect with these other rivers. But can we not give a little love over here?
Well, I think the goal is the expansion of the...
Yeah, to the west.
That's right. So up the Mississippi, out the Missouri River, even Ohio, you know, carrying people to the west.
Right. It is wood, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
and not metal.
Those are actually relief blocks.
Yeah.
Like, printing.
Stamped.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's cool.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say was, in 1976 for the bicentennial, Dad took me up the Statue of Liberty. Oh. That was 10 years prior to the restoration being completed.
Right.
For its 100th anniversary.
Right. It's 100.
Its 100th. But I believe it was 76. It's possible it was 75.
Oh, yeah. The
but
bicentennial went from 75 to 76.
Yeah. And remember, I was about 8 years old then and was mesmerized by the Staten Island ferry size going past the ferry that we were on to Ellis Island. It was fascinating. There was a lot of gum. It was, people had totally abused the poor inside the stairs going up, but I'll always remember that Dad did that for me. Yeah. So what I was going to say is I think it's pretty cool that we're at a national park, monument, landmark for the 250th of America. It's a nice way to celebrate 250. I have been enjoying the pictures, which you may not have seen yet, of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Some of the things that have been done in D.C. to get ready for the 250th celebration. And I would say that I'm a fan of things being cleaned up for, you know, doing something special for our 250th and taking care of things for future generations. To me seems... Now, the Statue of Liberty... was entirely funded by private donations, in all fairness. And I own, still to this day, one of these silver coins that we went and bought at Kmart. And the coins were a donation toward the restoration. Right. So everyone that went and bought one of those silver coins, I don't know if they had gold ones too, but we could afford a silver one or two, helped to pay for the restoration of the Liberty. Whereas, you know, most of the things happening in D.C. are federal taxpayer funds, but still we got to take care of stuff for future generations. So, but I was pretty proud to participate in helping to restore the statue, especially, you know, at that time we didn't know we were leaving New Jersey, and that was basically home up there. So, yeah, kind of cool. I'm counting on the movie telling us all the stuff that the museum has, but who knows. So this is the way to the theater and to the arch. Yeah, I had asked the lady, and the store, I had asked the lady upstairs if she basically had said everything is down there in that direction, so. So there is a South Tram and a North Tram. We have North Tram tickets. North Tram is on this side. Ah, there's the theater. So the movie's worth it.
Yep.
If you come and you have time, you should see it. And that building across the road is the original courthouse, and it's not a Capitol building. From the ground, you cannot tell that it's entirely constructed of triangles.
That's right. And of course, what is the Cybertruck?
A triangle and stainless steel. It's all stainless steel on the outside and Pittsburgh steel on the inside.
Yeah.
With concrete in between.
1/4-inch stainless steel plate.
Yeah. So, just so you know, you now have to get me a picture of the Cybertruck with it in the background before we leave town.
Well, we'll have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, well, maybe where the bolt dropped us off, that would be enough of it in the background to make me happy. But I need that picture for today's thumbnail, sorry. Get on that for me. The movie basically shows you how they move the cranes and scaffolding around to lift these huge triangles up into the air. And at the very end, they had to spread the legs to fit the last piece in. They said they expected to lose 13 men during the building of the arch, and they didn't lose any. So that's really good to hear. It wasn't like the Brooklyn Bridge, where they lost so many people putting that bridge in. There was a lot of men died building that bridge for us.
It was great seeing those guys up there 400 and something feet up in the air. No ropes, no harnesses.
Not scared.
No gear, no nothing. Just walking around.
Yep.
Blue jeans.
Yep. Just like it's just any other job any other day. Yep. So I had asked the park ranger how the lift worked. He said there was a picture somewhere, but I saw one picture and it sort of goes straight to the side, then straight some more and to the side, and that's kind of how it works. But I'm not quite understanding it yet, I guess. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not a jagged thing. It's just it's neat. Yeah, thank you, Donnie. Was it move? Well, it's supposed to move, probably.
Yes,
it's just broken. Okay. So you're in your own little Ferris wheel car, because the park ranger did mention the word Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Well, how neat is that? Looks like the chair from 2001: A Space Odyssey, or 2000 and the other movie where the red and white, where they were all lounging around in that one scene. It had this space age looking furniture. But anyway, there's the architect. And here's the hockey rink at Yale, a section of JFK Airport, and a section of Dulles Airport.
Which he was the architect?
Yeah, he's the architect of these things. Did not like straight lines. I bet the engineers just loved him. So there was a competition, and this video is going to show, or this display is showing some other of the models. So the Arch won, but there were other designs. Well, the only one that I like even at all is this funky building. But not none of the rest of them are appealing in any way to me. We're about to get on the tram. We might look at a little bit more of this when we come out. I would like to walk over to the train station if it's not pouring. If we're able to do that. It's not very far. It's up that trail we were on last night. The movie was just about the building of the arch, not about any of this history, and that's discussed over in here. So it's really not a duplicate.
Right.
Well, I think the next frontier is Mars with moon on the way. Top to the top we go. Yeah, they got a good bit of stuff going on in here, so you're entertained while you wait, both back in this area and up here. We have big orange ticket sticker number 4. So like, kindergartners or elementary school kids, we get to stand on our number or beside our number.
Yeah.
Watch it, mister.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. There you are. That is kind of a little tiny door. You can just kind of see through the slit in the door over there, it coming back down, and the people are going to exit out the same way they went in, and then we'll be able to enter. All right, there's no window. Don said the lady asked if we had trouble with stairs, but didn't ask anyone if they were claustrophobic. I don't know. It's awfully small in here. There are 4 of us getting in.
Yeah, man, you can feel it.
A seatbelt would feel appropriate at this point.
There's a little repair shop.
There's lots of access corridors in case they need to get up here. Hopefully we won't have to walk out like I did at Epcot.
It does feel like a
Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel. Pretty cool.
I feel like we're inside a dryer.
Yeah.
The drum of a dryer.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Well, it is raining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rain today was a bummer.
Yeah.
Now we're in a dryer, so we're good.
Wow, there's tight
I like
clearances.
this kid. He's got a sense of humor like my boys. So I don't know if they're building that round hotel or taking it down, but you know, Raleigh has a tower like that that's a hotel, and certainly Chicago has the two of them. And there's the old courthouse. A future request is that they put windshield wipers on the glass windows up at the top here. For days when it rains, you can see out better.
The thing is, the air conditioning will blast because in the summertime, like yesterday,
Yeah.
this is probably the people.
It's causing the air conditioners causing condensation.
On the
Yeah.
outside, yeah.
So they do have the trams running on both sides, and we're on the north tram today. We're at 630 feet up. So you should know that the air conditioning is on extra blast up here, and it's freezing. And you know, you lean into the windows to look at the view. And I don't know. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes at the top. It goes fast, trust me. Well, when I went to the Statue of Liberty, we were allowed in her head to look out the little windows up there, but we were not allowed in the torch. I was not in the torch. And I've not been up the Washington Monument. I'm just going to guess it's slightly less complicated to get to the top, but similar. Well, down here, this appears to be a live view, and it's very similar to the view we saw from up top, but not maybe identical. It's probably on the outside of the arch.
Oh yeah, it's probably a better view than you.
Well, only because it was so many raindrops. And at an unbelievable and ridiculous $37 for the green screen photo, and it was all washed out.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It would have been
It was blurry and the exposure was bad. They were willing to retake it, but no. And anyway, this shirt's funny. Come to the park side. Obviously, it's a take on Star Wars. And I've got my sticker and I've got my shopping bag. Lift them up higher, please, Vanna. There you go. I have to say the National Park socks are pretty cute. The National Park's coffee mug. Pumpkin recipes, okay. Little backpack purses are really cute. I guess I'm more associated steamboats with Louisiana, New Orleans, you know, deep south. But that's not necessarily true. I guess the Ohio River up here had plenty of steamboats too.
Well, they would come up from New Orleans or go down to New Orleans,
Yeah.
all the way up here to
Okay.
St. Louis and Cincinnati.
I just never knew they came up this high, I guess. They called them floating palaces. And we've seen a few on the river as we've been in the truck on the trip. As with many cities, they had a fire that basically wiped out a lot of the original city. We did take time to enjoy the museum. You know, history is often full of painful stories. That's sort of what it looked, you know, how it made me feel. I'm aware of North Carolina and the Trail of Tears and the Indian stuff, and that was a lot of what this history in there was about. Not just the Cherokee, but of the other tribes. But it is our history, and not just ours, because of lots of different people displaced other people all throughout history. But yeah,
pushing people aside is a common
human
trait.
Yeah, and apparently we're not 100% done with it either.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's what the little elevator, tram, Ferris wheel, cart thing looks like. We figured they were probably the original ones. They just had been repainted a ton of times on the inside. I don't think anywhere did we see that it actually said whether the ones currently in use were original or not. But steel don't go bad, so you just...
I think it's fiberglass.
Well, that's what the kid said, and then you said, no, I think it's metal. He said, I think it's fiberglass.
No, he was right. I was wrong.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And be moved, what you'll experience during your tram ride to the top. The tram experience takes 45 to 60 minutes total, which includes the pre-boarding tour. In the tram car, you'll have a light, airflow, and windows to see inside the arched legs. Your time in the tram car is 4 up and 3 down. You might feel gentle pivots during the trip, similar to the feel of a Ferris wheel. You'll enjoy the views at the top for up to 10 minutes. Enjoy the ride. There is nothing like our tram in the world. They didn't mention that it's like getting inside an MRI machine.
Well, yeah. They said you have problems with steps, but they didn't say anything about
They asked us, they looked at me and asked about steps. I didn't understand why. I could get through the steps fine, but they didn't ask about claustrophobia, which might actually be a problem for some people inside of there. Mr. Engineer pointed out that the old concrete is probably on the right and the new concrete's on the left, and after 911 maybe, or when they did the renovation in 2018, they added this extra security barricade, including that comes down. We're gonna go walk the, I don't know if it's the south pond or the north pond, but anyway, yeah, there's one on the left and the right of the arch, and we can walk around to get to the train station we were already headed to. Now, we might have walked down here last night if the rain wasn't threatening and we thought about it, because it could have been a reflection picture, maybe. I don't know how that would have worked out, but it's possible. I don't know. We have to walk almost all the way back to the arch to go around the pond. Maybe this is nice. We've seen this and we want to turn around.
You could probably just cut across the all those feet or get wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we've seen this.
Yeah, we've been there, done that. It's good.
Yeah, I agree.
So is that like wild raspberry or something? So this is the old train switching yard?
No. This is the metro stop for that thing in there is a metro stop. You see that?
But what did it used to be?
This used to be the wharf area. The steamboats would come up down the Mississippi, and this is where they loaded and unloaded the cargo.
Okay. Cool. Well, we did hear the metro come into the station. Can't see it though.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's the bridge that we came across yesterday.
Okay.
That upper deck, that's where we were. So the train's on the lower part and the vehicle's on the top.
Don says the trains are on the lower part and the vehicles are on the top. Train's under. Yeah, I noticed over here one of the ways we were coming that it was closer to the water and, the bridge. This is a first-rate, place to go walking. There's a few flowers. We saw a catalpa tree back there. I got it right, Don. It's like, I was Don's grok before there was grok. And Don's like, what's this tree? And I said, I'm pretty sure it's a catalpa tree. He's taking a picture of the arch, which we could see again. Anyway, he asked me about an oak tree, and I'm like, it's an oak. I don't know which oak it is. But I knew this is the catalpa tree. Okay. Don says he has a rock in his shoe and he's briefly stopping. Oh, a coneflower. One lonely coneflower. Although there's going to be a lot more flowers, they're just, their growing season is obviously behind ours in Raleigh, so they're just not flowering much yet. Give it a few weeks, I'm sure. That's more coneflower in there too. Wow, this is going to be really pretty. Don and I would be coming here to walk if we lived here. The only thing I would say is, having heard about the, crime in this city, one does have to sort of wonder why there aren't any police call boxes on this trail. I mean, we don't have them in Fuquay, but we don't need them, hopefully, yet, never. Yeah, they've put in some wildflowers over here, too. You can see where they've worked the dirt. Obviously put some front flowers in. I saw more milkweed out there. That's cool. We've got robins happy looking for worms after the rain. Oh, wow, there's a lot of milkweed up there. So this would be a great place in a month in the stinking heat to come with my big lens and get butterfly photos.
What are we got those things in our, I've seen those things.
those things. I don't know what that thing is that's mostly there, but there's a bunch of milkweed up high. The pink flower stuff is milkweed. The real McCoy milkweed. Oh, look at the cute little bird. He was taking him a bath in the sewer. The puddle. And you know what? Oh, here's pigeons and robins. And that one bird that just moved away from me, I actually don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a wet robin. A juvenile. You know what it is? It's a juvenile robin. That's exactly what it is. They look quite a bit different than their parent. All right. We couldn't have a mystery about what the bird was. That wasn't going to work for me. Oh, there's the metro coming through. I see more coneflower, and I want to know why there aren't any butterflies. Of course, I'd just be crying because my big camera's in the truck. But yeah, we're going to get a view from the river here in just a minute. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Well, the pigeons and other birds obviously like being up in the old part of the building that hasn't been refurbished. This is the James B. Eads Bridge, and it applies. It's been here a really, really long time. There's a plaque. Yeah, I think 1974 was 100 years. Could that be possible?
That's right. 100
Yeah.
years ago in 1974.
The plaque that makes it a monument is so old on the side of the bridge you can barely read it. I had to zoom in and do some special things with the photo so we could read the plaque.
Obviously, the abutments are all masonry, but the span, that's steel.
Yeah, well, it had the pits. We've learned today, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the three, is it a trapezoid? The
like
geometric shapes in different
diamonds,
colors,
yeah.
any with the diamonds. They, all the steel is marked with that around here. All the steel came from Pittsburgh, or came from Pennsylvania somewhere, and was brought to St. Louis for the arch and everything.
I think this bridge was the first steel bridge that crossed the Mississippi.
Okay.
You have to remember, back in the Brooklyn Bridge time and the time that this bridge was built, steel was just coming around. Making steel, I mean, they've always made small amounts of steels, but the Bessemer process was able to make a lot of steel. And that's what you need to do this type of fabrication.
Well, we are near the Mississippi Greenway trailhead, kind of like in Raleigh, the Garner area. We've got the Mountains to the Oceans trail and stuff. You know, some of these trails can be very long for biking, and you can see sharing the road here with the biking. No. There's varieties of salvia, I believe. Well, this one is pretty much for sure.
You got your button thing.
I know. Look at how pretty the coneflower is.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Coneflower.
Yeah. And then maybe we got a variety of butterfly bush. Well, at least we got a few butterflies here. How pretty. How pretty. Here's some bee balm. And this is aster, I think. But there's bee balm. Russian sage. That purple, hang on, where's the daggone camera? That purple stuff up there is Russian sage. I can even smell it. Well, the metro's coming through here and the metro stops here, but if they're gonna make it for families to like get to the arch, they're gonna have to work on this far area away from the arch a little bit more for cleanliness and safety.
And we went down here, down to the water, all the way around that, and this is where we were at the water.
Yeah.
And then we walked up to here and then came back this way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's how
We were maybe here on First Street for just a minute.
That's right. We came up to
We looked at that marker and we went over. Yeah.
under the thing at First Street.
But you can see the metro is just outside of the park, so it doesn't have the same protections and upkeep and stuff. It could be a nice destination also, but it needs work. Work means money. I get it. All right, we're back at the Cybertruck. We should be really close to 100% charge. I saved the dash cam video, and that's so that I can show you the excellent job Case did getting us out of the parking deck. I mean, nothing short of impressive. He doesn't want to infringe upon the parking area. Yeah, it was impressive. So Don dropped me off at the courthouse like planned. I was able to cross the street and get up the stairs in about the same amount of time it took Don to circle around in front of the courthouse and in between the arch.
Yeah.
Right as Don pulled up in this little place he could stop, this huge limo blue bus thing came right past him and parked right in front of him, so I couldn't get my picture. I was worst timing ever, and I was not happy.
Only bus we've seen all day.
Right, seriously. And oh, by the way, he didn't let anybody on or off. Yeah. He left without any passengers. So he just pulled in front of you to make my day and your day.
It was like that, this thing over here.
Yeah, except it was blue. But yes, it was huge blue limo service bus thing.
So I went around the block again, and the next time by...
we got the pictures. Yeah, I messaged Don and said, bus is gone. Because we know, for all we knew, it was going to park there for the next hour.
That's right.
Bus is gone, please circle again. So anyway, I got a good, it's not a nice day for pictures, but I got a good enough picture.
It's a nice gray day, stainless steel looking day.
Yeah. We are headed out of the city now. Apparently, we put in our destination in Colorado, and it wants us to drive to Oak Grove, Missouri.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to cancel anything. And then Abilene, Kansas, and then Oakley, Kansas. Who knows? We're not driving the whole way today, though. We just needed to navigate west so it would get us out of the city. We had a good time here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd do it again. It was fun.
Yeah.
Could have done without the rain, but the rain didn't really spoil anything for us. It just cost us an Uber ride. Yeah. We would have walked that leg this morning, and it cost us $20.
Yeah.
So we didn't get wet. So that big building over there, I think that was the Metro. That might be one building down farther, but I think that's it right there. It's kind of pretty. Maybe that's one farther.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, that's where we just came from, was right there.
But we got our girl her first Uber ride on her vacation.
Yes. I have actually been in a Bolt before.
That's right.
One of our very first drive electric type events, right after we got Ruby, and where we met John, who's Watermelon Jelly Bean on X.
Yeah.
Him and his mom were there. There was a dealer there that day with a Bolt, and we went for a drive. And the regen pedal, the handle thing, paddle, was kind of interesting, and that was, the gist of that drive. If Don was single and still working at IBM and still commuting to RTP every day, he might have had a Bolt.
That's right.
Or a Volt. He might have bought a Volt before there was a Bolt. Right. And since Don doesn't trade over cars super quick as a general rule, probably would be still driving the Volt.
Yeah.
But we didn't leave our phone number or anything on the truck for people to call us if they needed the charger, but Don was down and back to the truck a few times last night before we went to sleep, and a few times first thing this morning. And there was never another vehicle beside us, and there was another charger there.
There was a second charger.
So there was never a second EV charging unless they did it smack dab in the middle of the night.
That's right.
And so we weren't too worried about needing to move, but as I pointed out to Don, there weren't any other good places to put the Cybertruck. Like that spot there by the post that stuck out for the length of the truck. It's not that we weren't willing to move, but like where would we even have moved to? So it worked out. It just, as it turns out, it worked out well for us. I doubt we'll be back to St. Louis, but if we were in St. Louis, between the security, the parking security, and the free charging, we probably would stay there again.
It's possible.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, again,
I wouldn't rule it out.
Right, depends on how much other ones were and stuff like that. But yeah, that was fine. The breakfast was adequate.
It was your typical hotel hot breakfast.
Right. If you were a person who wanted carbs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you'd have been in heaven.
Yeah, but
the waffles smelled good. We didn't have them. A lot of people were going after the oatmeal. We don't I mean,
even
we like oatmeal as
sausage, biscuit, and gravy. They had that. That would have been good too.
Yeah. I was disappointed that the yogurt was low fat, or actually it was 0 fat. There's no way I'm eating that. And it's
the only
just
thing good in the yogurt, they took it out.
right. And the hard-boiled eggs were too much work here because they had the shell on them still. Yeah. I was like, nah, if I crack eggs at home, I ain't cracking eggs on vacation. Sorry. Yeah. Well, not at a restaurant where I'm paying, or where I've paid for the service. I would certainly do that at our friend's house, but no, not at the. I peel and crack enough eggs all the time anyway. It was okay. We had scrambled eggs and we had chicken sausage. They were very health oriented at this hotel.
Right.
Right along with the fake maple syrup, but they did have real butter.
They had real butter.
It was real butter.
It was salt and cream. That was
that was good. Yeah, it was whipped, but it wasn't fake, so that was a plus.
Yeah, and this will be my first time driving across Missouri. I've been to Missouri on the edges. I've been to St. Louis, and now when I also was to Cape Girardeau, and I've been to Kansas City.
Okay.
Missouri. So I've never been across the heart of Missouri. So.
Right. Well, Missouri is a brand new state for me that I was never in before, and certainly we can say we did things here that it counts.
That's right.
Yeah. State Park and Historic Site, next right, Katy Trail, Katy Trail, and we're fixing to go over another bridge. So I would guess that park is at the base of the bridge somewhere.
It said something about first capital of Missouri, so maybe back before it was a state. St. Clair, Missouri River.
St. Charles County line, Missouri River. We had another car come into our lane a while ago, and Case moved us out of the way of the car.
Yep.
It's one of those things that happens really quick. Case did good.
Yeah, with everybody on their cell phones nowadays, drifting in and out of lanes.
It's happening all the time. Yeah, good point. So I got Polar Steps updated for us, and I told Don he'd better update it at the next stop. I'm tired, but I needed to add my photos in with some of Don's photos, so those were the right steps for me to do. Supercharger stops is like take 2 pictures, one of the vehicle and one of the area or something, and put it up there. Anyway, then Don blessed me with the, hey, co-pilot, you look like you might be breathing for a minute. You should do something else, and said you should look up State Farm Drive Safe and Save, which Don has on the Cybertruck. And we've done, in the last 14-day scorecard, we've done 29 trips. I guess that means drives. And 1,069 miles. And he has a 97 for steady braking, a 91 for gradual acceleration, a 99 for following the speed limit, a 99 for smooth turning, and a 68 for 0 phone distraction. Well, State Farm, insert cuss word, doesn't take into account that other people in the vehicle may be using the driver's phone. Yes. So that is a totally bogus and unreasonable thing. Not to say that Don didn't deserve to be knocked down to 90%, but like I've been doing Polar Steps since we left St. Louis. 45 minutes or something, using the phone the whole time. Don's not on his phone. Don's also not driving. But, and Don said, for FSD people, look, Tesla insurance isn't in North Carolina yet.
That's right.
We don't have that option. But as we're doing FSD, and it's, their state laws are going to have to change about phone usage while autonomous driving, because that's not covered yet. But at any point, there's going to be drivers, I can just see it now. Look, he's using his phone. Go arrest him. Well, I'm not driving and my car's level 4 or something. I don't know. Anyway, those rules are going to have to shift.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's only the phone measurement as a valid measurement of your vehicle safety is just a total bogus thing. And parents had their kids, the phone in the back seat to play a game. So it's not just us. But anyway, The sky is looking stormy and interesting out there. It's 85 degrees. You know, we've got Lakewood, Colorado plugged in, but we've also got, I guess it was plugged in for a while to get out of the city, but it's removed. But we've decided we want to stop at the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad tomorrow as our, you know, little stop for the day. And we're not sure if we're going to drive to Abilene tonight or not. We're going to play that by ear. We're definitely going to hit Independence, and we'll be figuring it out. So we left at 100%. We're headed for the Independence, Missouri supercharger. That was really stretching the miles. So far, we're good to do. Like, we left at 2 something. We were going to get there at 5 something. And Dawn and I never drive 3 hours without stopping. Like, hardly ever. But anyway, so we're doing good. We're making good time. And traffic's been super reasonable. It's a little congested, but it's been reasonable. It's not been bad. But we've hit rain now. So Dawn goes, oh no, hopefully we won't have to slow down because we're going to hit the supercharger at 15%. But I did pull up the route and the chargers on the route. Don's doing it for me. It's the second one in. He doesn't have his glasses on. You can see there's a lot of red dots there. So if we were to hit heavy rain, no problem with us just diverting us to. We would rather be diverted to a different supercharger than have to slow down more than the driving conditions require.
Where's the weather?
The weather overlay. There you go. And remember, this is a prediction. Well, that's pretty wet. The truck could use a bath. Yes, please.
Yeah, clean the windshield.
Clean the windshield. Thank God Dawn and the Cybertruck are driving FSD, because I don't like this at all. I don't like it at all. It reminds me of Burlington, North Carolina, near Mebane, when they widened I-40 there, and I was driving through there all the time, and there were always these cement barricades. And I mean, I did it when I needed to do it, but I never, ever liked it. We're stopping for late lunch, early dinner. Maybe we'll have ice cream later. Maybe we'll eat something else. We don't know. But anyway, I told Dawn I want Steak and Shake. It's right there.
Yeah, I see it.
I guess we have to somehow get to where we can turn left or U-turn. So this, to be clear, this is not a supercharger stop. This is just a let's go eat stop.
We're at a 120-mile streak, and we're going to go a lot more.
Yeah, and Dawn said I better park right, I think was Dawn's words a minute ago.
Yeah, well, we've got the parking lot and all that parking lot set, so I don't know anything.
Goodness gracious, is there some traffic in this town? Where are we? We're in Columbia, Missouri. Okay. There was a Steak and Shake on this side of town and the other side of town, and the other side of town you had to get farther off the interstate to get to. It was more of going to take more time. This one's pretty much just right here. So yeah, we double checked. We felt like we might have been pulled a little far forward there for how cars were coming around the other left turn lane. But there was no paint on the road there to know where to stop, and we really weren't pulled out into the intersection. It was just one of those. It's like that one up at Walmart in Fuquay. The daggone intersection's too small. They added lanes, and it's just too small. They have accidents there all the time.
Well, so far, I would give Case an A. It's going up the wrong way, I think, but hey, it's good. There's no.
I don't know if we park here, I'd be happy enough.
Well,
where are we going to park? Come on, Case. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
This is so far. You park over here anywhere you want to park over here, but
okay.
I'm not going to correct it.
Okay. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Good. It's fine. There's a tree. I'm not looking. There's a tree.
All right. So now, if you want to move,
so let's
move. It won't be.
No, it'll still mess up your streak if you move. Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm just looking at the camera when we are over the line. But there's so many spaces here, I don't feel like we need to move.
Right.
But if you want the honest truth, that parking was
subpar.
Was not great. Well, first off, it's a big truck, but there's more space over the back wheels. So like backing in where there's no bush down there on the end, that's where I would have chosen.
Yeah.
Back in that corner over there, and that would have been great. You can put the butt a little over the cement. You'll fit in the space good, but anyway, these are all the things a human thinks. This spot's fine.
Yeah, I have no idea what the algorithm, how it decides
which spot.
Yeah, the hamburger.
Yeah, but it's. Well, you know, there is an arrow on the ground over there behind you, of the way we came in.
Yeah.
So you are allowed to come this way. There's paint on the ground that shows that was a legal maneuver, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Legal, but not how we would have gone around the building.
I'm going to need a nap.
You know, I forgot to film anything in there, but we got lots of pictures. We had the nicest little waitress, young girl. Yeah, she was vibrant, perky. She brought Don the kitty hat. Yeah. And Don, being the kind of guy he is, he put it on, and we got some great pictures. And
yeah, well, I had a milkshake, so you know, I'm always in a good mood.
We shared a medium order of tater tots. You know, we normally wouldn't eat potatoes. We did use a little ketchup. We shared a Biscoff milkshake. She recommended it. It was different. We really enjoyed it, but we shared it. And then we each had a butter burger, a double butter burger. Yeah. You could definitely tell the tallow taste. I mean, I don't know what Steak and Shake tasted like before the beef tallow.
Yeah, sure.
But it was really good. The burger had onions on it. It was really enjoyable. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice, if we were going to treat, you know, that was a nice vacation treat.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, good thing we walked this morning.
Good thing.
So our plan is to stop at the rest area up the road and let Don take a nap. But if he's feeling totally perky, we'll just go past it.
That's right.
But we think we're ready. We've got our pillows and our little blankie and stuff, and we might pull in and take a nap, and then we might try to make Abilene. Yeah, Kansas. We might try to make Kansas. It says 8:43 after our stop here, which is not.
We're not going to eat dinner tonight.
Right. This was food for the rest of the day. It's 4:15 in the afternoon.
Because I had a reasonably big, you know, I had plenty to eat for breakfast, but I told Marianne I was getting hungry, so when she said let's stop at Steak and Shake, I was like, I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, all of their commenting on X about beef tallow burgers and stuff and everything. Well, first, you know, they're moving in the right direction.
That's
right. The things I questioned in there were, I want organic ketchup, and I want it to be, you know, in a lower sugar than less. I don't know what kind of ketchup they're using.
Yeah.
And I want a better quality bun, or a bun that's not something different. I want a more healthy bun choice. But other than that, I mean, they definitely have tried at least to move in the right direction. So
they made the first right step.
The first pass at it.
Yeah, get rid of seed oils. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was good, and we can go now. Yes.
Free so far.
Yeah. I thought I'd film us getting back on the interstate, since most of the interesting interactions with FSD are.
She gonna try to go.
Waited for this car.
I don't know.
Well, he was gonna try to go, but now, we are making a right turn onto Clark Lane and then onto I-70 West. I guess Clark Lane. So, Don did not hit the accelerator.
I did hit the.
You did hit the accelerator. Okay, that doesn't count as an intervention, though. It didn't take you out of FSD.
Well,
it just depends.
We could have sit there for a while longer, but you know, I figured this guy here in the truck.
He had enough room to fit through there. We should have had enough room.
Right. Now I don't know where we're going.
We're going right and right.
Yeah, here we go.
So we do not need to try to cross. Right. Kansas City is to the right up here. So lucky for us, we don't need to get right in this traffic.
That's right.
But we do need to wait for all of these people piling out of that shopping center over there.
Yeah, there must be something big going on down there. We've stopped there to turn into the Steak and Shake. It was a big.
It's just a big shopping area.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything special. Be careful in case of this kid on the scooter.
Yeah, well, I didn't touch the accelerator there. It decided it was clear.
And this is 70 West, so we got really lucky as far as dealing with that traffic, not having to cross any lanes or anything.
And we actually are in the middle of a pretty serious construction zone.
Yeah.
Right through here.
Yeah, we had one tense moment not caused by us in the construction area.
Right.
Don just woke up from his nap, so I got out of the car for a minute to stretch. Native Wildflowers and Grasses, a cooperative effort from the Missouri Conservation Department and the Missouri Department of Transportation. And I do see some milkweed out there, so that's cool. So back and forth this afternoon, we've been going to Independence, Missouri, or Oak Grove, Missouri. I guess there's also a supercharger in 2 miles in Concordia. But anyway, we don't need to stop because we were back at that rest area and Don had his nap and everything. And we can make either one of these, but Independence is near Bass Pro Shops, kind of like in Cary, North Carolina. And it's buried so deep in the shopping center, Don will be cussing, having to try to navigate through the shopping center to get to it. And the one is also a 250. The one in Oak Grove, which is the one we come to first, is a 325. And there's a few things there that are probably closed, but I think it's at a gas station. And it's just about 4 straight blocks off of the interstate. So I think Don said he'd rather go there. I said I don't care. But, you know, we've said it before, the amount of time that it takes you getting off the interstate to get to the supercharger has to be factored into the speed of the charging and everything else. So we did book a room in Abilene, Kansas tonight. We will be getting on Mountain Time 35 miles before the, tomorrow. That's tomorrow, before the Colorado state line. So on the western end of Kansas. I got ahead of myself there. We looked it up this time so we knew what to expect. Because, you know, the car and the phones, they just change, and the computer just changes. And I'm like, wait a minute. So, anyway, we wanted to go to the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad tomorrow, but they're not open. The next time they run the steam engine is on Thursday. They're not quite as big an operation as the North Carolina Transportation Museum. That's pretty much open every day out of the year and runs the train around the yard about 4 times a day, no matter what. And then they have special events where they run it a lot more often, or have more special trains running it, but there's daily train rides over there. So we were disappointed not to see the trains, but we're going to go to the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum and Library in Homestead tomorrow. It opens at 9, and that fits into out where we'll be. So we're going to push ourselves a little bit farther tonight to get to Abilene, because that's where the quote, it's another Holiday Inn Express is, and it's close to the presidential thing. And we won't have to rush in the morning because we'll have gone a little farther mileage tonight, and we can have as much time at the museum and grounds as we want tomorrow. So just to give you an update on where we are and what we're doing. So it worked out for us, eating early and napping for a little bit and then driving a little bit farther. We got off the interstate for the supercharger here in Oak Grove, Missouri. And this is a diverging diamond. I knew right away when we went to the left and we're on the wrong side of the road. It's a very telltale sign. This would freak you out if this was your Model X. Yep, white. This would freak you out if this was your first diverging diamond. But of course, FSD is handling it just fine.
No
big
deal.
Yeah. Okay. So the supercharger is 4/10 of a mile up here on the left. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we could have done to have made that. I mean, I don't feel like Case dawdled or turned wrong or...
Right.
There's been a few lately around town. It's like, dang it, we could have made that.
Yeah.
But not this one. This one was just sort of, it is what it is. Well, since we're not going to get to our destination until near 10 o'clock, I won't ask to go to the Walmart that's over there on the other side.
No.
I haven't been to one Walmart yet on the entire trip, but I have been to a Dollar Tree. I have been to a Dollar Tree.
On the way back, we can stop at more Walmarts.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not really upset about it. I'm just... yeah, there is a Model Y over there at the Walgreens. Sometimes I'm just teasing. I mean, would I enjoy walking in the Walmart? Sure. After a day of driving in the car, you know, with us pushing to get to Abilene tonight, not really. Yeah, it's funny, Abilene, Kansas, but I keep on thinking Texas. I'm in my head, like every time it comes out of my mouth, I'm having to correct myself. So yeah, we saw the gas station canopy. Dawn got excited for a minute and thought it was solar, and I'm like, no, that's the pumps. Yeah. Casey's, have no clue what that is as a chain. Nice. Yeah, it looks, yep, and there's the superchargers are all available. They're 325s. Yeah, the one in Independence was 250 also, by the way. Another reason not to go to that one.
Right. All right, now hopefully Case will be able to park
correctly and not at the pump. That would be so funny if Case parked at the pump. Oh, come on, Case. You cannot pull into the supercharger. You must back in, child.
Don't go into the one on the end.
Oh no, the one on the end is the handicap stall. No.
Fail.
Well, I suppose if there's nobody here,
I think
it just doesn't matter.
Yes.
Oh God, he's so far back.
We're gonna let it ride. I'm not gonna move because
well, if somebody comes up and needs it, we'll be glad to move.
We've only got 7 other ones.
Yeah. We're currently getting 270 kilowatts. It's already starting to come down just a little bit. I don't know what our charge state was, but we're at 29%, and this is what we're looking at. So, why would it want us to stop in Lawrence, Kansas now? Although having more when we arrived in Lafayette, more when we arrived in Abilene is not undesirable. How long is it saying to charge?
It wants us to charge for 30.
5. No, this is not here though. Well,
I saw it where it said it have to continue to trip.
Do I have it in the right order?
Well, you've got the hotel.
The hotel, yeah.
And then the library.
And then the library, and then Lakewood down at the very bottom.
It stuck all those in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did. I don't see anything.
It still shows us getting to the hotel. Well, now we're down up to 1025. I don't know. We were only stopping at this supercharger and we could make it when we pulled in. And now it's telling us it wants us to stop someplace else. But I don't know how many, how long it really wants us to charge here right now.
Right.
Okay. We'll figure it out. So we're still at 191 kilowatts, no loss there. I mean, as far as speed, that's good. It's 44 cents a kilowatt hour here, but it's was it 44 or 41? It's 44. And in Topeka, Kansas, where it's telling us to stop now, it's 38 cents a kilowatt.
Right.
Besides, in another hour, we might be starting to get tired, an hour and a half, however far that is. 8:13, it's currently 7 o'clock. So it's a little over an hour. So instead of charging longer here, it says go stop in Topeka also.
That's right.
But it's cheaper.
If we left right now, we would get to Topeka at 14%. If we left right this second.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be here much longer. We're going to be here just a minute or two more.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty, well, we're coming into Kansas City, and Dawn's been explaining that there's Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. I guess people expect it to be in Kansas, but not necessarily. It's sort of funny. We are taking the right direction here to go to Topeka. So, what did you do in Kansas City, Missouri? Right. Back for IBM, what did you do?
Yeah, that's when I was doing putting web front ends on mainframes, and I did some work at the USDA.
USDA, okay, yeah. That sounds right. I remember when you were at USDA, so that was in the 2000-ish time frame?
Yeah, well...
Slightly before, slightly after.
Exactly, right. Part of Y2K, a lot of things happened, right? I guess, I know I came in here before 9/11, and then when I came back after 9/11, the USDA had totally changed because they put in barriers and all kind of stuff.
More security to get in the building and stuff.
Fingerprint readers, everything. It was very relaxed, more typical, no more secure than any other business. Sign-in process. But after 9/11, it all changed. It was totally different. And so I only came out a couple more trips after 9/11 to finish up. And also I did some work, same thing in Oklahoma for the FAA. They needed the same type of work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of your contracts stand out in my head more than others.
Yeah.
But now that you're mentioning USDA and FAA, I'm remembering.
Yes.
Those. But I remember you at Visa a lot, and I remember you over in Scotland.
Yeah.
RBS
right.
and
yeah, all those.
Yeah.
So this is, I guess we're crossing into Kansas now. See, we just went through all that. And that's on the Missouri side.
Yeah.
And I think down here, I don't remember. It's kind of funny. It's changed a fair amount.
Well, it seems to be that we went past the Kansas City Royals baseball stadium. That's right on the interstate over here. And Don said, I've been there. Yeah. Well, I was going to say the only thing that Don did really with people while he was in town is if somebody wanted to go to the ball game, Don would go to the ball game. Because you went to, where was Phoenix?
Phoenix.
What's the team name?
Not the Rockies.
I'm sorry. Well, I actually went to the game with you and Raleigh that one time we were out there for the user group meeting.
Right, got it.
I don't remember anything about the game, but I was at the game.
Well, the reason I went to baseball is they have weeknight games.
Right.
Professional Major League Baseball, you can usually get in to see a weeknight game on a Tuesday night. You can usually see a game. You can get a ticket, but you can't see an NFL game over the weekend. They're all sold out. And they never get it. Well, I don't want to pay that kind of money, but you could get a normal ticket to a baseball game in most cities. So Kansas City went to baseball. Phoenix went to baseball. San Francisco, I went to both Pac Bell Park and what was it, Candlestick? I went there right during.
Oh, here's the Kansas.
Yeah.
Here's the sign that I'm missing getting a picture of.
Yeah.
Home of Dwight D. Eisenhower, where we're gonna go learn all about.
All the big buildings are behind us.
Are behind us.
Missouri.
Yep.
Yeah. And I used to stay in Overland Park. That's where the hotel was. And the USDA was in Missouri. But it was just a short drive.
But where Overland Park was, Kansas or Missouri?
Oh, it was Kansas.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting story. When my first trip, they asked the person that was there asking me where I was staying, and I told him which hotel. And he said, "Oh, well, there's a really good steakhouse. Just head south or whatever direction. I don't remember which direction it was, but just turn out of your hotel and just go. It's just down there a mile or two." And that's when I learned about a mile or two in Kansas. That's 20 miles. I mean, he was correct. I just turned out of my hotel
and went straight.
He said, "You can't miss it. You'll see it." And 20 miles later, it's like, holy crap. I did. It was a really good steakhouse. But,
you and your rental car, huh?
Yeah, me and my rental car.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess around Fuquay and Willow Spring, if it's not farther than 30 minutes, it's close.
Yeah.
That's my cutoff is about 30 minutes is close. And I don't bat an eye in an hour, but that's getting there a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are closer now than they were in 93 when I moved to Willow Spring. And, and then you had to drive 30 minutes to get to anything, but not so much anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we've made you remember pretty much every contract you ever had while you were in services.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed, other than the grind of the travel, I enjoyed the meeting, working with customers and face-to-face. That was the good old days, none of this team call stuff. I mean, it was, work with the customer.
Well, that was a nice maneuver there.
Yeah.
Not.
Well, hopefully this thing's going to get over.
Oh, I feel sure. Well, Don did the turn signal.
Yeah,
I feel sure Case was going to get over.
I just was a little
I guess it's an accident, and this is one of those trucks that pulls up to make sure you get over away from the accident.
Motor assist.
Yeah. We have, well, whatever police officer that was, they had the nice blue shirt, long sleeve blue shirts. I was comparing to the New Jersey State Police uniform and the North Carolina State Police uniform.
Right. That's funny, I can't remember any.
Well, just because I got family in the state police in New Jersey, so I got my Pops pictures and stuff.
Right, well, my point is the USDA wasn't in downtown Kansas City. It was in another part of the town. But it was in Missouri. And I just remember this really beautiful parkway. It was right off this really nice parkway where there was like a creek or a stream in the middle, and all grassy, and the houses on one side and other houses on the other side, the roads, this traffic going this way, this one going. It was beautiful. That drive in, it was very picturesque, and that's really all I can remember. I can't think of the name.
Well, I don't remember all of the places I went to, but my places were like a day. Sure. Like I went out to see Salt River Project.
Right.
I got sent out there to, schmooze them a little bit.
Yeah, well,
but I was only there for a day or two, and then I was back home. So, I remember that, but that wasn't a real...
Yeah, well, we kind of, Wally and I, one of the times we came out a couple times to work together, and we'd stop at the same place every day, only it's sort of like they're getting to know us.
Right.
Like a 7-Eleven place,
Yeah, Wally needed diet. Well, he didn't do Diet Dew. Wally needed a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I was the one that drank the Diet Dew, and Wally drank the regular Dew.
Regular.
Yeah. Us programmers, we need a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, that was his caffeine of choice. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, it said something about this being a service area.
Yeah, we're on the...
It's a Tesla supercharger, but it's in a service area.
This is a turnpike. We're on a tollway.
Okay, when it's not New Jersey, where they did stupid
Kansas.
stuff.
Yeah. And so this is actually a service area, and it happens to also have a Tesla supercharger. And this is the thing, speaking of New Jersey, that Jersey Turnpike awarded the contract for the EV charging to some unknown
service provider.
And basically people are the right thing to do is pretty much pull off and go leave the turnpike and go charge outside the turnpike.
Yes, I have sworn we will pay extra to get off and get back on if we should ever be in New Jersey.
So
and I'm from New Jersey, so I'll say whatever I want about it.
That's right. So here they are.
Here they are. Nice.
They're version 3.
And nothing wrong with the Love's truck stop either.
See, please don't park us right next to that wall.
Don broke his streak right after we stayed in the handicap spot, and nobody came while we were there because he was in my profile again, because it keeps on putting him. I stayed with the truck and he went in and it switched to my profile, and then poor Don.
That's all right.
Yeah, we would like to be able to say for the, always Don if we're together. So we're back in case after using the restroom. They had taken out the entire cold case area. No cold bottled drinks. Well, the pizza place in there had a few, but no water. It was weird. Anyway, we don't have quite enough to make the supercharger after the presidential library tomorrow, so we're going to wait a few minutes.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. We're waiting until this gets up. So we got a while to go yet.
Yep. We're currently pulling 145 kilowatts.
Right.
We have 192 miles right now. It's okay. I wanted to see, just to show the travel center.
Yeah.
Headed to Abilene. That's where the library and the hotel are, and there's a supercharger in Abilene. It had just never taken us to it. This one's supposed to be 38 cents. And we want to see how much the one in Abilene is.
37 cents?
Yeah, even during busy times. So it's even cheaper than this one.
Okay, so I think
must be some cheap electricity in Kansas.
Yeah, must be.
Well, you know you're in Kansas when you go into the bathroom and there's a sign in there that says severe weather shelter area, and it has a picture of a tornado. Okay? I better not see any hail while I'm in Kansas or Colorado. I don't do well with hail. So I-70 is closed in like 10 miles, and I'm thinking that somewhere along the way where we gained a little extra time in our destination, that it was possibly because it's going to route us onto the lower 470, the southern 470 loop, and around Topeka, and that increased maybe a little bit on both our charging need and our, I don't know if it's always closed or if they're doing work at night and it's closed. So anyway, no big deal. It's not that, I can't tell exactly how much farther that is, but it's just a little farther to take this loop on the south side of Topeka at non-rush hour when we could have gone straight through.
Yeah, well, it's quite a little
jog there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then Dawn was like, well, you know, Tesla, you knew we had to stop in Abilene for 2 other things. Now, granted, the car doesn't really know for sure whether that's we're passing through and we're just driving to those spots and keeping on going, or that we're staying at that hotel and we're gonna, you know, visit that museum, and that make, you know, there's no way for it to know the timeline there. But there's a supercharger right there where we were getting off the interstate anyway. But it never once thought about sending us to that supercharger, which is why we were just kind of like assuming there wasn't one.
Right.
And then they're like, well, there's already one at that exit on the interstate anyway, so you're going to keep us here. Anyway, we're at the hotel at like 25%, and we'll charge sometime before we leave Abilene in the morning or early afternoon, you know, whatever we need to. But
well, I guess everything you said is right. My thinking is this: I'm not knowing now that we know what we know.
yeah.
I would have preferred it to let me get to the hotel at 10%, 5 to 10% would have been fine, or something low. If I wanted to hit the supercharger tonight because it's so close to the hotel, I could have done that. Or if I want to let the vehicle sit overnight, I know the battery cools and all that other stuff, but
it's not winter.
It's not winter, and also I guess what I'm trying to say is I would have rather gotten to the hotel a little earlier with less charge than to get to the hotel later with more charge. That's all I'm saying. I would rather got to the hotel with less charge and got there earlier, because we're going to get there at 10 o'clock, which is not too late. We've already ate. We've already
booked our room.
Booked a room, and this is the 3rd time we've gotten stuff in and out of the car. Oh, this will be the 3rd hotel room.
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
So we've learned a little bit every night. I'm not saying we won't have to make 2 trips tonight, but you know, I did it in 2 trips last night. You know, the thing we brought everything in, that I had to run down and get one more thing. So we were pretty good. So maybe tonight we can do it in more or less in 1 trip. Effectively 1 trip. Although it's maybe easier because we have so much luggage. Depends on where we get a parking place, and relative to the room. You know, it's just easier to make multiple trips.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up over here. That where the supercharger is.
Yeah, it's like
I mean,
across the street from the hotel.
It's really right there. I just want it to be smart. If I'm already exiting the interstate and there's a supercharger there, and then it's going to have us charge in Salina, which is, I don't know how many miles this is down the road, but it's not a lot, you know? So, anyway. Don said he saw lightning, so we put up the weather overlay. No. That's right in Abilene. I want to go back to North Carolina.
So, hey, not every storm in Kansas is a supercell, sweetie. I think it's just...
I don't know. That looks pretty intense. Those are very...
That's a lot of red. but not purple. There's no purple there.
Okay.
But I saw them in flashes in the clouds.
No. We'll turn around. Okay, I've got my radar following me again. I had turned that off at one point, but hey Grok, are there any severe weather alerts for Abilene, Kansas?
Yes, Abilene, Kansas has a severe thunderstorm watch until 1 a.m., a flood watch until 7 a.m. tomorrow, and a heat advisory starting noon tomorrow. No active tornado warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings right now, but check NWS for updates.
Okay.
Wow.
So, we were having the windshield wipers wiping a lot on the dry windshield. And first off, that could potentially start to scratch the glass, and it was annoying Dawn. And, you know, all of us that have FSD for a while now have had bouts where it does it, and it doesn't do it. And it seems to do it more when it's dark or possibly cloudy or whatever. So, but anyway, good news is you can now, once you start FSD, go in and turn them off. Now, it might turn them back on you, but we drove 30, 40, 50 miles with it in the off position. And then when we got here where there was actual rain, Dawn put them back on auto.
Right, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so just so you know, in the old days, you couldn't turn them off no matter. The first time it happened on Jules, our 2020 Model Y, we were like in Greensboro or something, and it was wiping them every 15 seconds, and we were trying to get home with FSD, and Don was tired and had to drive the whole 90-minute trip home himself and was irritated, and it would not let you turn them off. It wouldn't even let you push it, I don't think. But that has apparently changed, so just so you know. We're coming up in 3/4 of a mile on our exit. FSD threw up its hands at some point. The bad thing was it put the windshield wipers on low when it did that. We had to get in there. They stopped, but we had to get in there and turn them back on. That was sort of ridiculous. I'm just scared. I'm not really mad. There's a tornado alert out there really close to us. It's not really great right now.
Right, but we're getting off at 0.4 miles.
And I know the whole thing about the flashers thing, but I turned them on anyway. I don't care if it's legal or not legal. There are a whole bunch of other people out here with them on, and it... Anyway.
But
Well, okay. Well, I want to leave Kansas now. I've had enough of Kansas. I knew I didn't like the idea of tornadoes in Kansas, and I don't like Kansas. I really don't like it. If I wanted to be scared this bad about the weather, I guess I just would have stayed back in North Carolina. Don's trying to see.
I can see the lines, the white line
Yep.
on the edge of the road.
The Holiday Inn Express is to the right, and it's right, literally right there. I am not a happy camper. Can you see the tree moving out there? The wind actually shifted the Cybertruck. And we're here at the hotel, but it's pouring. And we're just waiting for it to let up a bit. Hopefully these people will come back to their vehicles after it lets up so we can check in and grab a metal cart and get our stuff where it's going.
Well, I think it is going around us because the trees are moving.
Can you see the rain blowing around on the side of the building underneath the lights down there?
Yeah.
Don wants to know what the big fuss is all about.
I don't understand what all this.
Now, come on.
Not even wet.
Well, first off,